Hey everybody, my name is Gary Fritsch, and I'm the new Director of Evangelization here, but a lot of people in my life know me as just that joy guy. And that's really because my life up to this point has followed God's tried and true plan for rescuing the lost. Here's how it goes. I was one way, and it was often terrible. Now, I'm another way, and it is mostly joyful. And the thing that happened in between was Jesus Christ and His forgiveness. Now, it didn't start out terrible for me. I came from a great Catholic family. I was the youngest of 8 kids. I went to 8 years of Catholic grade school. I was a top student, athlete. I was even involved in many ministries within my church. I was so blessed by God. And then high school happened. And for me, what that meant was I turned my back on all of that goodness that God had given me, and I went down a lot of dark roads. And I mean every dark road. Everything you could imagine that someone might do wrong in high school, that was me. And as you also might be able to imagine, it really started to take a toll on the relationships, particularly in my family, with my mom and my dad. And so when my dad passed away in my senior year of high school, honestly, things could not have gotten much darker for me. And it took nearly 25 years to dig out of the hole that I was in there. But it wasn't me that did it. I had lots of help. The United States Marine Corps, hoorah to any Marines, jarheads that are out there. My amazing wife of now 30 years, my 5 children, and the life that we built together. I had a 25-year successful career and spent a lot of my spare time coaching every sport that I could. Now, all of these things were really good, and they helped to revive me, but I was still lost. It looked good on the surface, but underneath, man, I was struggling. You see, at that point, I was Catholic, but not Christian. I was doing all the Catholic stuff. I was going to church. I was taking my kids. I was even volunteering. But I didn't know Jesus in my heart. Until I volunteered to help with the youth ministry program. And the youth minister, wonderful young man, challenged us with this. He said, "I'd like for you to write your conversion story." And I said, "Conversion story? I've been a Catholic all my life. I don't need a conversion story." But the reality was, I wasn't ready for a relationship with Jesus Christ because I was so ashamed of all the things that I had been carrying with me. So a friend gave me some advice and said, "Go find yourself a good priest." So I did. And I made an appointment. That's how you know it's going to be a doozy of a confession, when you make an appointment, right? So I made an appointment, and it was a doozy. And I sat there, my head down, sharing things that I had never told another human being in my entire life. Things that I had carried with shame in my heart for so long. And as I sat there with my head down, tears streaming down my face, a little bit of snot even, I had this sinking feeling that the priest was judging me. I mean, I thought, how could he not be after the things that I just told him? But when I looked up, all I could see was concern and love in his eyes. And he said, "Gary, it must have been so hard." Well, I knew Jesus now, didn't I? Ever since then, I really didn't want to be about anything but His business. So I volunteered for everything at my church. I was a cantor, I was a lector, I joined the choir, I was in music ministry, youth ministry, men's ministry, mission trips. I even joined the deacon formation program. And all of this filled me with so much joy. I was hooked. And so a few years later, my company was reorganizing, and I got laid off. And you would think, oh man, tough luck. Except that it opened a door for me that I thought never would open for somebody like me. So I stepped through it, and I started doing ministry full-time, which I really wasn't qualified to do at the time, but hey, the Lord was going to call me to something. So here we are, 6 years and several ministry jobs later, and I'm in this amazing parish. I mean, amazing place. You guys may or may not know what a treasure you have here, but it is amazing, and I'm prepared to do exactly what God made me to do, created me to do, and prepared me to do through my life circumstance. And that is bring everyone closer to the ultimate source of joy, Jesus Christ. And that, friends, that is evangelization. Bringing people to that joy is evangelization. And I can't wait to get started with you. I'm so eager to be able to meet you and get to know you and build relationships with you so that we can start on our journey closer and closer to the Lord. So I hope to be able to meet you soon. You'll be able to get to know me in lots of ways. One, you just watch this video. Two, you'll see my weekly article in the bulletin. You'll get to know me a little bit through there. And some other stuff that happens here and there. I'll do some talks, etc. It might be a little more challenging for me to get to know all of you. So take the time. Come up, introduce yourself, maybe 3 or 4 or 5 times, because I don't remember names all that well. Introduce yourself to me. I'd love to get to know you. And if you have a story, maybe you have a story about what God did in your life, man, I'd love to hear it. Email me, call me, I'll listen anytime. Thanks so much. God bless you, and may you have joy always.